Hello students, today I will teach you the second program. Even second program has two parts, that is 2A and 2B. First I will discuss the program 2A. Now what is program 2A? It is regarding the staff members. So if you go to a company or any organization or suppose if you take our college, there are three, here they are considering three types of staffs. So first I'll tell you what are the three types of staffs we are considering here. One is teaching staff, and one more is technical staff, and one more is contract person. Okay. Now there are three types of staffs here. So that is one is teaching, and one more is technical, and one more is contract contract persons. So there are three types of staffs. So for all these three types of staffs, these four attributes are common. Okay, for all these teaching staff, technical staff, as well as contract people, these four attributes are common. That is, what is the common things are the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. So here there is a main class or super class that is called as staff parent class. This is taken as the parent class. Actually, program 2A explains you the in detail the method of inheritance. So here this is a parent class, or it is called as a super class. It is named as staff. So it has four variables or four attributes that is common to the teaching staff, the technical staff, as well as the contract people. And it has two member function. One is accept and one more is display. So the accept function takes the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. Similarly, it prints the display function prints the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. Now, coming to the subclasses or the child classes, the teaching class extends staff class. So, what is the advantage is the teaching class can use the member functions of the superclass staff, that is accept and display, by using a keyword called as super by using a keyword called as super. Now for teaching staff, observe carefully. For teaching staff, apart from these four attributes, the other two extra things that need to be considered is domain and publication. So what we are doing is using the we are we have one more member function accept inside the teaching class. Now see what is happening here. This member function is a belongs to teaching class. Inside this member function, first we are calling the accept member function that belongs to the super class staff. But how you know that? Okay, that is if you use a keyword super. See here the accept member function is preceded by a keyword super, means this accept function belongs to the class belongs to the class staff belongs to the class staff. So it is this accept function. Also here if you see the teaching class also has one more accept function, that is here. So you be very clear with the two accept function. This accept function belongs to the super class, and this accept function belongs to the teaching class. And whenever you see a super keyword preceded, that means it is a member function that belongs to the super class. Now what you do is you take the two special attributes that only belongs to teaching class. Now here what is happening is you have called the accept function of the super class. So you are accepting the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary of a teacher, plus the two extra things that is only specific for teaching staff is domain and the number of publications he has done. So these two you can take inside this teaching class itself. So you are telling to enter the domain, reading it, enter the publications and reading it. Now, and similar way for display function, similar way the class teaching has a display function. So first what you do is you call the display function that belongs to your super class, and what it does is it prints the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary of the that particular teacher. Plus, after that, what the domain and publication of that particular teacher is being printed. So, what is the advantage of using this super class is the let it be a teacher or a technical staff or a contract person. The four attributes are common. That is staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. So from the teaching class as well as the technical class and the contract class, we can use the help of this super class staff, and we can use the help of these two member function accept and display for reading or accepting common attributes like staff ID, name, phone number, and salary, as well as printing it. So that is what is the advantage. Now, now coming to the next class, the technical class. The technical class, apart from name, phone number, ID, and salary, one extra thing he has is that is skills. So what you do is you call the super function accept plus in the technical staff accept member function, you specifically write code for accepting the number of skills that the technical person has. So here, see, enter the number of skills and use a for loop and write down the whatever particular skills this technical staff has. Similar way in display function, you call the display function that belongs to the super class plus display the skills of the technical staff. Finally, going to the contract person. Contract persons have worked for few months or years based on the demand. So apart from name, phone number, salary, and ID of contract person, the specific thing that a contract person has, the number of period he is going to be attached with our institution. So you call the super function accept and take the name, phone number, salary, and ID of contract people. Plus, apart from that, the specific attribute that belongs only to contract person is the period of time that is going to be attached with our institution. So ask that period and take the input. And finally, you call the display function that belongs to the super class that will print all the common details of contract person plus, and finally you print the period is going to be attached with our institution. Finally, now here there is a main class, and here since we are accepting inputs from the keyboard, we are using a scanner and we are generating a scanner variable called as SC and one more variable N. Okay, for taking the number of teaching staff, number of technical staff, and number of contract persons. Finally, we use a for loop here, and we have three objects. Teaching is an object that creates a new instance of the class teaching. Technical is an object where here a new instance of the class technical is being created, and contract, similar way a new instance of the class contract is being created. So first you tell enter the details of teaching staff and you call the accept function, member function that belongs to teaching. So that goes where if you call this teaching dot accept, where actually it goes, it comes here. See, where is the teaching class? Here. The teaching class is here. And here, this accept function is called. Okay, this accept function is called. Inside this, the accept function that belongs to super class is being called. So it comes here. So this accept function. So it takes the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary of the teacher and displays it. Okay, plus the domain and publication, which is only specific to the teaching class, is being taken here. And finally, for displaying it, again you call the display function that belongs to the superclass. And here you use display code that to print the specific attributes that belongs only to teaching class. Similar way, you do it for technical class as well as contract person. See here, enter the details of teaching staff and you enter the details of technical staff and enter the details of contract staff. Similar way, how you did for teaching. Finally, you print all those details. Okay, you print all those details. That is the end of the program 2A. Okay, now I'll execute the program and show it to you. So I'll run the program. So I'll enter for one teaching, one technical, and one contract person. If I enter one, enter the staff ID. So since it is a teaching, I will enter it as teaching 1. Next, enter the name. I'll enter as Raj. Enter the phone number. I'll enter just some phone number. Next, enter the salary, 20,000. Enter the domain. I'll tell it belongs to ISC domain. Publications, he has done one publication in networks. Just we'll assume he has done one publication in network subject. Next, enter the details of technical staff members. So since it's a technical, I'll enter the technical 1. So enter the name. Again, I'll enter Ravi. Next, enter the phone number. I'll enter some phone number. Salary, 4,000. Enter the skills. So now his skill is installing OS. Just okay. We have to not leave a space. Okay, that is what is the message. So I'll run the program again and show it to you. We should not leave space. So enter the, I'll take for 1 staff ID teaching 1. The name is Raju. Phone number, salary, domain is ISE. Publications is 1. Networks, he has done publication in network subject. Next, technical staff ID is technical 1. Name is Ravi. Phone number, some phone number. Salary is skills. He is installing OS. Oh, sorry. It is asking enter the number of skills. So first, sorry. Here I am doing a mistake. Enter the number of skills means how many skills he has. So we have to enter the total number of skills he has. Teaching 1. Name is Raju. Phone number is salary. Domain. Publications 1. Networks. Staff ID for technical patient. I start with technical 1. Name is Ravi. Enter the phone. So here enter the salary. It is asking enter the number of skills, but previously I was actually entering the skills. So it is asking number of skills. So we'll assume he has 1 skill, that is installing OS. So now enter the contract staff ID. So I'll start with contract 1. Contract 1. Enter the name. So what is the name we'll give? We'll enter Bob. So next, enter the phone number. Enter some phone number. Salary. And enter the period of time he is going to engage. Let us enter 6 months. Okay. Now, finally, after entering 6 months, the details are being printed. Okay. See here, the details of the teaching staff. So ID, name is Raju, phone number, salary, domain, ISE, publications is next. The details of technical staff. Okay. The details of technical staff is being printed. Finally, the details of the contract person is being printed. This is the output. See, it is the reading. First, all the details is being read, and finally, it is being printed. Okay. So teaching staff details is being printed. Next, technical staff, whatever details we entered, that is being printed. Next, contract person detail is being printed. This is the end of the second program. Now, there is one more part in second program, that is the 2B, program 2B, where here we have to understand the concept of string tokenizer. So here we have to give the date in a format, and we have to separate the date in the form of day, month, and year. We have to separate it by using a comma. Okay. See, so we will see how it is being done. So here there is a class customer. The customer has 2 attributes, that is name and date. And here there are 2 member functions for this class. One is read, and one more is display, and one more is display. So the read member function takes 2 data, that is name and date, and saves it here. And the display function is where we are going to study in much more depth. Now here the date we are going to consider is in this format. Just I'll type it and show it to you. Now example, today's today's date is 5/6/2020. Simply, I've considered a date. So let us consider date in this format: day, month, and year. So the delimiter is here used is backslash. So the delimiter separates the day, month, and year. After 05, you have a delimiter backslash. After 06, you have a delimiter backslash, and the year. So here, the delimiter, what we are going to consider is backslash. So delimiter helps us in separating the day, month, and year, and we'll separate it and we will print it using a comma. We will see how it is going to happen. So first, you will print the name, then you are using a comma. After comma, you are using a variable and telling the delimiter which you are using is a backslash, and now you are using a inbuilt function called as string tokenizer, and you're creating a object st. That object is of the class inbuilt function string tokenizer. See, string tokenizer is a class. For that particular class, you're creating an object called as st. Now, using that object, you are separating the day, month, and year from the date. How? So you're using the object and you're using a inbuilt function has more elements. Till there are elements in the day, this while loop will keep on repeating. That is, there are three elements in the day. One is, there are three elements in the date. One is day, second one is month, the last one is year. So after you finish with year, there is no more elements. Then this while loop will automatically stop. So till these three parameters are being printed, this while loop will keep on repeating. And the first parameter of the date is day. After that, the day and month are separated by a delimiter backslash, and the month and year are separated by using a delimiter backslash. That account is kept by the string tokenizer. So you tokenize the strings, okay, and you print it by using a comma. So the first parameter in the date is day. So you separate that day from the date and print it, and after printing the day you are using a comma. The next is month. After month, again you put a comma, and the last is year. Okay, then you print a new line. Then this is the how the display function works. Now again, here we have a main function, and in this main function you have a enter the customer details. You are going to enter the number of customers. Okay, so here there can be more number of customers, so you are using the customer as an array. So now, if there are two customers, you're going to take the name and date of two customers. So, and you're going to call the member function read, which reads the customer name and date. And afterwards, finally, you're going to call the display function, which uses string tokenizers and separates the date in the form of day, month, and year. Okay, let us see what actually this program does. I'll run the program so you will better understand what happens here. So I'll take the customer as one. I'll take the customer as one. Then the customer name, I'm giving it as Raju, and the date, I'll give it as today's date, 5/6/2020. So now you see the output what we have got. The name, comma, the day, the month, and the year is been separated by using a comma. Actually, this is the output. So here you are learning the concept of string tokenizer. When you are learning the concept of string tokenizer, you should be very careful what delimiter you are going to use. Okay? So this is the two programs which you need to study, that is 2A and 2B. Okay, students, in the next class, I will be teaching you third program.